Audio now. Space. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members and everyone present in the meeting. Chair, it's 10:02 now and the meeting does form a quorum. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Good morning, honorable members and
Recording in progress.
public on the platform. Today being the 6th of May, 2024, we're gathering here to engage with the B41B of 2023. May you flag the agenda of the meeting, Nolthando. That's been the agenda.
Mute.
Yeah, thank you. Can see that. Is there any item that members want to add? In the absence of any, may I ask for move for adoption of the agenda?
Chair, Ndongeni moves for the adoption of the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Your phone is okay. Ndongeni moves. Any seconder?
Nkosi seconds, Chair. Good morning to you all.
Thank you very much. That stands our agenda. And Nolthando, the apologies.
Yes, Chair, I've got two apologies. The first apology is from the minister. He won't be able to join us today due to family commitments. And the second apology is from the acting DG, Dr. Khumalo. She will be attending the meeting, but she's asking to be excused early due to a clash of meetings. She's got an earlier confirmed meeting with National Treasury, but DDG, Mrs. Khan, will lead the delegation in her absence. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Thank you. As you know, the purpose of today's meeting is to engage with I nearly said Bella Bill, the bill dealing with drugs in sports. And I'm told that we have only one input from the South African Institute for drug-free sport. You know, as South Africa, as we participate in sports internationally and even in the continent, we are bound by certain rules and protocols that we signed as agreement between sporting bodies and that if we are part of those kind of international agreements, we have to tune our laws so that we don't say something else in terms of our laws and then do something in terms of our laws and then say something internationally that is contradictory to the agreements that we have, the protocols that we are part of. So as part of this, we'll give to the department and welcome DG, the acting DG, and then also welcome members from the South African Institute for Drug-Free Society, for Drug-Free Sport, I need to say Drug-Free Society. I see the name of Fanny Gallant, if I'm pronouncing the name well. You all welcome. And acting DG, take us through the presentation. And then after that, there'll be the response by respond by the department, and then our legal team will also give inputs as to guide us so that we do not go off the boundaries. Thank you very much. I'll give over to the leader of the delegation from the department to present the bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairperson. I am hoping that I'm audible and that you can see me as well. I have switched on both my video and my mic. I am the acting
Yeah,
DG.
your video is not very helpful.
It's
Actually,
not.
it's better when you switch off. Yeah, we only see the
Okay.
top of your head. We
Oh,
only see
okay.
your head. Okay, now we can see you.
I
All
hope
right,
that's better
thanks.
now, Chairperson. But
No, it is indeed. Yeah.
thank you very much, Chair. But can you also allow me to switch it off just to save on the quality of the network, Chair? Can I switch off the video?
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Miss.
Chairperson and the members of the select committee, the management in our entity that we are working with in terms of resolving this particular matter, DDG and colleagues, good morning. Chair, we want to, first of all, before we proceed with the presentation, which I'm asking that the colleagues please put up as I start, we want to express our appreciation, Chairperson, to yourself and the members of the committee for the commitment and the consideration of the agency to finalize the amendments of this amendment bill. As you have correctly said, the issues of compliance by the country in as far as this legislated matter is concerned is of great importance, and we appreciate you making time to finalize this matter. I would be taking you through the first part of the presentation. Colleagues, who is assisting me, putting up the presentation, please. And then, Chairperson, as I go on with the first few slides, I will then hand over to our legal service team, who will then take us through or take you through the rest of the presentation. Can I please have the presentation screened, colleagues? DDG Sumaya, can I have confirmation of who's doing that? I'm not sure whether colleagues are having a challenge with connection. Ludwig, can I have assistance with the presentation, please, colleagues?
I think it will also be
Apologies.
helpful if they make you co-host so that you can.
Yeah. No, I think, thank you very much, Chair. I think I have the presentation now. I'm not sure what was causing the challenge. Can I request that the presentation goes right up to the first slide, Benedict, and that the presentation also goes to a slideshow format? Okay, as they assist me with that, just allow me to then comment so that I don't waste your time. If we just move on to the first slide, the next slide after the cover page, Benedict, it's just to outline what the purpose of this presentation is. It is to update the select committee on your portfolio, Chairperson, on the process that has been undertaken by the portfolio committee of Sport, Arts and Culture with regard to the SAIDS Amendment Bill. It is also to present the details of the National Assembly adoption of the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport Amendment 2024, which was the bill list bill, Chair. It is also to update the Select Committee on Education and Technology, Sport, Arts and Culture regarding the arbitration matter between WADA and SAIDS. And last but not least, it is also to recommend that the Select Committee on Education and Technology, Sport, Arts and Culture consider the presentation for adoption and for further processing. We want to also then just go into a little bit of a background, chairperson and members. The department presented the draft bill to amend the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport Act 1997 as amended to Cabinet of the Republic on the 4th of October 2023. Cabinet noted the recommendations and approved the processing of the amendment bill to ensure alignment and compliance with the WADA Code. The bill was tabled before Parliament on the 24th of November 2023, and also on the 28th of February 2024, a presentation of the draft bill to amend the SAIDS Act was made to the Select Committee on Education and Technology, Sport, Arts and Culture. Just continuing from there, Chairperson, we also want to indicate that the Portfolio Committee on Sport, Arts and Culture held written and oral submissions on the SAIDS Amendment Bill with various stakeholders, which include the Athletics South Africa, Free State Academy of Sport, South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport, Culture, Arts, Tourism, Hospitality and Sports Sector Education and Training Authority, which is our SETA, the South African Sport Federation and Olympic Committee, Bodybuilding South Africa, National Treasury of South Africa, Boxing South Africa, South African Rugby Union, amongst others. The oral submissions were held on the 11th of March, and then on the 13th of March this year, the department responded to the oral written submission made to the Portfolio Committee with the following effect. If we just move on, Benedict, I will then hand over, Chairperson, as I have indicated, to our legal service unit to take you clause by clause in terms of the matters that were attended to. Legal service, Arthur or Benedict, if you could please take us through. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, ADG. With your leave, Chair, good morning. Good morning, ADG. Good morning, members on the platform. My name is Benedict Mukubedi. I'm the Senior Legal Admin Officer in the department, and then I will be taking you through to the rest of the slides of the presentation. The following provisions were initially identified as the non-compliant with the WADA Code, and the table here indicates how those particular non-compliance provisions were addressed. Clause 1. Clause 1 of the bill, members, substitutes Section 1 of the Principal Act in its entirety. The reason it was substituted it is because the amendments were so lengthy that the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor advised that when amendments are such to such an extent, it is advisable to basically just repeal the rest of the clause 1 and replace it with the new ones. Hence, it was substituted in its entirety. The words in the definitions are now defined so as to bear the meaning contained in the code. The rationale for these amendments was given that the code has a periodic reviews and amendment. WADA recommended that the definitions bear the definition as set out in the code currently in force. So this means that whenever there's an amendment, we won't have to amend our bill because our definition would be having these words currently in force. Some of the other definitions have been repealed because the operational function of such defined word or words does not exist and are not aligned with the codes, while others were inserted to align with the new amendments as well as the code. The definitions the definition clause members also has an appendix to the code to support the earlier statement to the fact that whenever there's an amendment to the WADA code, since it has a periodic review, our bill will not have to be amended because reference will be made to such appendix of the code. Then it will obviate a situation where we find ourselves in where we hastily have to amend the legislation. Clause 2. In terms of Section 2 of the Principal Act, SAIDS is established as a corporate body, which essentially means that it is a juristic person. In terms of the PFMA, the SAIDS is a national public entity and is listed in Part A of Schedule 3 to the PFMA. Clause 2 of the bill, therefore, seeks to replace the phrase corporate body with the phrase public entity and to provide that SAIDS is a national anti-doping organization of the Republic. This seeks to make it express and convenient for the reader of the Principal Act to know that the SAIDS is a public entity and a national anti-doping organization. Clause 3. Clause 3 amends Section 10, which deals with the object of the institute, so as to promote and ensure the adoption of a centralized doping control program, which focuses on implementing intelligent testing, both in and out of competition, on athletes over whom it has authority. WADA suggested that the advanced testing notice should be removed, as this should only occur in exceptional circumstances. The previous version members had an impression to the effect that athletes were entitled to advance notice. Same has subsequently been corrected. Other amendments were consequential. For example, Sports Information and Science Agency, that is CISA, was replaced by the term department. Clause 4. Clause 4 amends Section 11, which mostly dealt with drafting style as well as alignment with the code. For example, the version only had testing pool, so the word registered had to be inserted so that the word will read registered testing pool. And the other issues dealt with issues of singular and plural. For example, testing pool needed to be drafted as testing pools. Therapeutic use exemption, the use of caps, for example, in the version, therapeutic use exemption was drafted in small caps. However, in alignment with the code, it needed to be drafted in caps, as well as the insertion of the abbreviation TUE. Yes, clause 6. Clause 6, which is the one that was mostly contentious and which mostly affected the bill or our act to be non-compliant. So clause 6 amends Section 17 of the Principal Act, which deals with appeals and is the major part of SAIDS Act, which was found to be non-compliant, as I've stated. In consultation with WADA, the whole Section 17 had to be repealed and replaced with a new Clause 17 titled Result Management. Result management will be the responsibility of and will be governed by the procedural rules as well as the anti-doping rules of SAIDS, aligned with the principles of the WADA Code and relevant international standards. Results management provides for two adjudication processes: the establishment of the independent doping hearing panel as a first instance hearing panel to hear and determine whether an athlete or other person are subject to the anti-doping rules of SAIDS. Anti-doping rules of SAIDS has committed an anti-doping rule violation and, if applicable, to impose relevant consequences. There is also an establishment of an anti-doping appeal board, of which the minister appoints its members. And the bill, as you read it, you will see it also prescribed for the term of this particular appeal board, as well as the composition. The bill prescribed the composition and the term of the, I was a bit ahead of the slides, my apologies. The bill also prescribed the composition and the term of the office of the appeals board. Appeals involving international level athletes shall be heard by the Court of Arbitration for Sports in accordance with the relevant provision of the code. The bill contains transitional provision, meaning any proceedings pending before the IDHP at the commencement of this act must continue and conclude as if they were commenced in terms of this act under the jurisdiction of the IDHP. On 19 March 2024, WADA confirmed that the amendments appear to be in line with the code. However, members, contingent on the formal adoption of the wording of the text as indicated in the list of amendments proposed by the Portfolio Committee, coupled with the relevant wording of the bill. So basically, the bill as it is WADA compliant. The department, together with Parliament legal advisors and SAIDS, effected the minor suggested amendments by WADA on the 20th of March 2024, which have been subsequently addressed as I've advised in the previous slides 5 and 6. The National Assembly adopted the bill on the 25th of March 2024. The department received the Select Committee on Education and Technology, Sports, Arts and Culture second term program with the directive to brief the Committee on the SAIS Amendment Act, which is why the presentation is before you members. The presentation also seeks to provide an update as to the process undertaken by the Court of Arbitration for Sports, that is CAS. Now, with regard to the procedural timeline, on the 14th of June, WADA is to submit its statement of claim. That will be the claim of the non-compliant by the SAIS bill. And then on the 31st of July, SAIS and X is to file their response. And the hearing for this is anticipated to take place on the 26th of September 2024. Hopefully, by then the bill will be promulgated and the hearing might not take place. So it is important that this particular piece of a bill be promulgated. Again, we thought it is imperative to I beg yours, to remind the members as well as to what is at stake and the consequences of having a non-compliant piece of legislation. The consequences being that South Africa will not be awarded the right to host regional, continental, and world championship and events organized by major events organization until SAIS is reinstated. South Africa's flag will not be flown at regional, continental, and world championship and events organized by major events organization other than the Olympic Games and Paralympic Games until SAIS is reinstated. South Africa's flag will not be flown at Olympic Games and Paralympic Games until SAIS is reinstated. SAIS will lose its WADA privileges until reinstated. For example, members of SAIS sit in certain committees at national and international. So they will lose such privileges, for example. SAIS representative will be ineligible to sit as members of the boards or committees or other bodies of any signatory or association of signatories until SAIS is reinstated. As the ADG has alluded, it is recommended that the Select Committee take note of the amendments to the SAIS bill as adopted by the National Assembly and to consider the presentation and, if amendable, adopt the bill for further processing. That concludes our presentation, Chair. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And now let's get input, I think by South African Institute for Drug-Free Society. And then after that, we'll get the responses from the department on the issues raised by South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport. I keep on saying society instead of sport, but I think ultimately the goal is to have a drug-free South Africa. We're dealing with drugs in sports. Yeah, can we have the presentation now by the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport? Am I in order, Nolthando? Yes, you may proceed.
Morning, Chair.
After your presentation, then the department will respond to the issues we have raised, and then we can then make a determination after that. Thank you. Over to you.
Morning, Chair. Morning, honourable members. My name is Wafika Beg Jassim. I am the legal manager at the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport, and with me is the CEO, Khalid Halant. I wish to confirm that the presentation that was presented by the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture is done in collaboration with SAID. So we support the presentation that has been submitted and the recommendations that have been made to adopt the bill. Thank you.
Oh, I was muted. I was saying that is there any response from the department on the matters that were raised by the Institutes for Drug-Free Sport?
Chairperson, we've noted just trying to see whether I'm fine. We've noted the consensus comment from SAIDS, but we just wanted to indicate that we have comments that have come through from Western Cape, where we wanted to indicate our response to Western Cape Provincial Department, but DDG Sumaya Khan would just go into a little bit more detail regarding that. However, the working, just trying to see here, the working relationship which says, and the alignment in all the processes that we're following, I think has just been confirmed by the legal service manager from SAIDS now. And through you, Chairperson, can I just allow DDG Sumaya Khan to come in there?
You're welcome. DDG Sumaya?
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Chairperson, and honorable members. Good morning, ADG and CEO and board members of SAIDS present in the meeting and colleagues. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chairperson, I think ADG in her opening comments had made her remarks to express appreciation to the committee for all the support. In fact, even whilst we were still busy with the portfolio committee, we had the opportunity to address the committee. Chairperson, just to indicate, I think the legal services manager, SAIDS, Ms. Wafika Beg Jassim, has indicated, that we have worked very closely and collaboratively to finalize this bill, to bring it to where it is. And we also want to express our appreciation to the Parliament Legal Services personnel, Ms. Arnold. I think she's on the platform as well, because I think if we didn't work with the parliamentary advisors as well to align to what Parliament's expectation is and what the government of South Africa's expectation is in putting the bill together, we would not have got to this point where we are. So, Chairperson, just to indicate that we also have the opportunity to send the adopted bill to the Institute, to the World Anti-Doping Agency. And we sent it many times and they made comments, etc. But finally, with the adopted bill, they had confirmed that it aligns and all the issues of non-compliance that they have identified have now been addressed by this anti-doping, this new amendment bill. So they had indicated that everything aligns, except that once it comes before this committee, Chairperson, they would like to see the final bill, and they also want us to inform them formally when the final bill has been assented by the president of the country. So, Chairperson, we really, really look forward to the deliberations in this meeting to take us to that step as quickly as possible. Chairperson, we are aware also that Parliament dissolves by the 21st of May. So we're making a special plea to the Bills Committee as well to finalize the bill so that the President signs off before that. As you've heard, Chairperson, that the dispute that has already been lodged by South Africa with WADA around the bill is still on the table with the Court of Arbitration for Sport. They have given us dates. They've been quite cooperative, because they could see, Chairperson, that we were really very, very focused and really put in a great deal of effort collectively to make sure that this bill is finalized. So therefore, they've moved the date to September. But we are hoping, and we're quite confident, Chairperson, is that before the 21st of May, we can have a bill that is assented. And we want to thank everyone for their efforts. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you, ADG.
Thank you so much. And it's also good to hear that so far where we are compliant with the WADA regulations and policies, and that, given that, it will mean that after we have engaged with this, we will be able to host international games in South Africa, and that the South African flag can fly at the international events. So, honorable members, that is where we are now. I just want to check with the Parliament legal advisors. What is their comment on this matter? What are the observations? Are we online? Are we in line? And what are there things that we need to take note of? Over to the legal team. Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you. You're going to be muted, ma'am.
My apologies, Chair. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning once again to Chair and honourable members. My name is Adla Arnold and I am from Legal Services at Parliament. Chair, as confirmed by my colleagues from SAIDS and the department, we have received confirmation from WADA that the bill as adopted by the National Assembly is compliant to the code and that all the issues as identified in the corrective action report has been resolved. Chair, just to touch on the procedure that we are following at the moment, as we are all aware, this is a Section 75 bill, and it has correctly been referred to this select committee. And because it is a Section 75 bill, the options are to pass the bill subject to amendments, or reject the bill. As we all are aware, if the Council passes the bill without proposing amendments, it will proceed to the President for assent. If amendments are proposed or if rejected, it will then proceed back to the National Assembly. Chair, with regards to our NCOP rule 176 correctly explains that the Select Committee has the authority to arrange its own business in a manner that allows for the facilitation of public involvement. And the committee secretary has confirmed that on the 28th of March, the NCOP called for written submissions by interested parties, and this advert ran until the 19th of April 2024. As far as I am aware, we only received one public submission, and that was from the Western Cape government. Chair, I think it was the DG that requested also or alluded to the fact, and I've had sight of the submission from the department. Perhaps we should allow the department an opportunity to formally respond to Western Cape government's submission for the purposes of the record and to indicate that we have correctly considered this public submission. Thank you, Chair. That is all from me.
Thanks a lot. May we have the department to respond to the input by the Western Cape government. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Chair. We will take you through what the matters or the comments that came from Western Cape were and what our response to that is. DDG, or is it Benedict who's going to take us through? Okay, go ahead, please. Thanks, Chair.
Thanks, ADG. Thanks. Can we have, I can see the screen showing it. Yes, that's the correct one. You can take the Word document, DSAC WADA response to the Western Cape DSAC DCAS comments. Can we, Benedict, if you can put the document on.
Is it not on? I thought.
No, we can't see it. We can just see the folder.
It's not open.
Okay, what's happening now?
Okay, I think.
Because on my end, it's showing that it's open. If you give it a minute, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna reattempt again. My apologies for the delay.
Okay, and you may just sign open so we can start talking through it.
Oh, sorry, can I please do it on my side if you are struggling?
Please.
Yes, please go ahead.
So should I stop? Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Chair. I think we're going to ask Mr. Mukwedi to just take us through. Chairperson, you will note that there were the comments on the far left of the screen is what has come through from the Western Cape government. And then we ourselves as DSAC provided a response. But in addition, Chairperson, we also sent through SAIDS, they sent through the comments to WADA, and WADA has also made their comments to this, the comments from their responses to the comments from the Western Cape government. So, Benedict, if you can go through it, you know, what the comment was, what our response was as DSAC, and also what the WADA response was. Thanks. Over to you, Benedict.
That's the saying in my culture, loosely translated to mean that you can never greet enough. So again, members on the platform, Chair and DDG, I greet you once more. The first submission from the Western Cape government was a general submission. They were submitting that we must ensure that the bill is aligned with and addresses the concern as set out in the corrective action report issued by the WADA Anti-Doping Agency in October 2022. In response to that particular comment, DSAC responses as follows: that the amended bill addressed all the non-compliance issues. Same was confirmed by WADA on the 19th of March 2024. That the amendments appear to be in line with the code as alluded in the presentation and confirmed by our SAIDS counterparts. WADA also basically submitted the same to the same effect, that they referenced the letter of the 19th March 2024 that confirmed that the latest wording of the bill, which subsequently adopted and passed by the National Assembly, was confirmed as appearing to be in line with the code, and therefore addresses the relevant corrective measures as required pursuant to the CAR report issued by WADA on October 2022. The other comment dealt with the long title of the bill, where it was issue of grammar and punctuation, and that they also made proposals. We've noted, I beg yours, we've noted the proposal. However, the long title was drafted with the consideration of the South African legislative drafting style, as well as the approval by the Office of the Chief State Law Advisor and Parliament Legal Advisor, who are our experts in this field. So hence the long title was crafted in the manner in which same was crafted. On this point, WADA advised that this falls outside their scope and therefore had no comment on the long titles comment by the Western Cape government. I beg yours. Yes. Okay. Also, yes, thank you. The other comment dealt with the definition of therapeutic use exemption. Contains the abbreviation of TU, but the abbreviation is not used in any of the proposed amendments to the Principal Act. They then propose that the consideration be given as to how this definition is to be deployed throughout the bill. Our comment is that when we believe that this submission was made in error, because when one looks into in clause 4, which amends section 11, this particular definition appears in fact twice in section 1 under paragraph D, as well as in paragraph E of section 11. So it's not that that the definition does not appear in the body of the bill. Isn't it that when you define something in the definition clause, that particular definition should find home in the body of the in the body of the bill? So this is what we're clarifying them to the fact that it is indeed appear in the body of the bill. It's not just the definition that lies in the definition section. What I also noted, the term TU is a what basically they were just advising that the TUE is a common acronym used by the anti-doping practitioner to describe therapeutic use exemption. The other comment was that although UNESCO convention is correctly defined with reference to the appendix of the World Anti-Doping Code, the current version in the bill is limiting because it does not specifically refer to International Convention Against Doping in Sport on 19 October 2005. The impression gained from a reading of the current definition is that it refers to United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural. Can you go down, please? Okay, but anyway, in this regard, they were advising that we should define the convention in full. But the challenge with this one, which we know the comment, however, we said that because we are avoiding a situation wherein the convention or any other definition is amended, we will reference it to the appendix so that the amendments can only be made in the appendix of WADA, which will not have consequential effect on the bill, having to have us amend the bill as well. So in that instance, we then I opted to leave the definition in the appendix as it is. Next comment, please. Okay, yeah. Under clause 3, yes, I think it went slightly up. Thank you. One of the proposed objectives of the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport is to promote and ensure adoption of the controlled centralized doping program, which focuses on implementing intelligent testing both in and out of competition on athletes over whom it has authority. Then the inquiry by the Western Cape government is what is meant by intelligent testing. The department advised that cognizance should be taken of the fact that the bill is drafted in a framework style. The elaboration of same will be created by SAIDS and international standards under the WADA code. WADA commented to the fact that they note that the term intelligent testing as a word in this provision notably stems from the wording of Article 4.1.1 of the International Standard for Testing and Investigation. WADA strongly recommends that this term not be strictly defined or further clarified in the provisions of this bill, as this may lead to overly narrow or restrictive interpretation of what constitutes intelligent testing in accordance with the ISTI, which may engender further risk of non-compliance. So WADA also advised that this particular definition, we should leave it as it is, and we concur with WADA's submission. So we left it as it is in the bill. Thank you. Next comment. Okay. Clause 6. The submission is to effect that it is noted that the proposed amendment to section 17 sub 1 of the Principal Act states that result management shall be the responsibility of and shall be governed by the procedural rules and anti-doping rules of the institute aligned with the principles of the code and relevant international standard. They propose that it must be ensured that the procedural rules and anti-doping rules contemplated in this clause meets the requirements set forth in the international standard for results management in the World Anti-Doping Agency. The department worked we responded that the department worked closely with SAIS to ensure alignment of these procedures by our act as well as the code. WADA also submitted that they wish to emphasize that pursuant to Article 24 of the code, it has oversight of the SAIS anti-doping rules and any other procedural rules adopted by SAIS and actively ensures that any such rules are in compliance with the code and related international standards. So basically, WADA will ensure that there's alignments with the processes and procedures of SAIS. So that therein covers the comment by the Western Cape government. The last comment was to the effect that there is a mistake in the heading of clause 9 of the bill, amendments of arrangement of section of Act 14 of 1997. They advise that we should correct the word section to sections, meaning from singular to plural. We've noted the comment and WADA submitted that on this point, they have no submissions to make. Further comments. The comments are not material in changing the enforcement of specific clauses or terms in the amended SAIS bill. WADA in their corrective action report clearly indicated areas of non-compliance. The amended bill addressed all the non-compliance issues, hence the agency through which both the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture and the Portfolio Committee on Sports, Arts and Culture ushered the amended bill through the legislative channels. WADA agency has found the bill adopted by the National Assembly to be fully compliant. We've attached a correspondence to that effect. And they are urgently awaiting the final gazetted bill assented by the President. Without repeating, saying, if the Select Committee considers the comments, the process for consideration will result in the following. If you were to consider the comments by the Western Cape, which we just presented on, this will result in the delay in the process of the promulgation of the amendment bill. The dissolution of Parliament in 2024 will overtake the promulgation of the amended bill. SAIS will lose the case against WADA at the Court of Arbitration of Sports with major financial cost. Consequence of the WADA code non-compliance will be enforced. Enforcement of these consequences will result in national and international embarrassment to South Africa. South Africa is at risk of our flag and national anthem not being acknowledged and flown at the 2024 Olympics, Paris Olympics and Paralympic Games. In conclusion, the timeline and consequences are of more concern here. Therefore, it is our recommendation that the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture and SAIS therefore recommends that the Select Committee excludes these comments as they are of no material effect and are merely semantics with respect to interpretation of legislation. I thank you, Chair and members.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, that being the input from the department, and of course we have had our legal team also commenting earlier, and Institute for Drug-Free Sport, their comments, and now the responses from the input by the Western Cape, and that my understanding is that whatever suggestion that they are there in the engagement, they do not make any they don't substitute any material changes in the body of the bill. And yeah, so also give members time to comment on the input of the presentation, and yeah, and then we'll take it from there. A show of hands. I'll monitor the screen. And just saying that, honorable members, also know from both this presentation is that the engagement by the portfolio committee in the NA has actually managed to address all other matters that were outstanding, and that WADA has also given us feedback that where we are now, we're actually compliant, and that if we were to pass this bill as it is now, without making any changes, we will be able to participate with our flag at this next Olympic Games, and that South African flags can be flown at all international sporting events. And the feedback that we got from WADA that we are compliant, for me, it's the best news one can ever expect from an international body like that one. So that being the case, honorable members, there are no comments. I don't see anyone who wants to comment and or ask questions. In the light of that, for me, it means then that we are all agreed with the amendments as made by the other House of Parliament, the National Assembly, and that we are agreeable to their changes. What will be the way ahead, Nolthando, from here? Any comment from the technical team?
From here, Chair. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yep, you may continue.
Oh, from here, Chair, it will be the consideration and adoption of the report of the committee on the bill.
Okay, thanks, Nolthando. In the absence of any comment from the members, let us put the report. Can we fly the report? Our flag will fly in Paris.
Sorry, Chair, I see the hand of the Parliamentary Legal Advisor is up.
Oh, let me. Yes, the legal team, Arnold.
Yes, Chair, just a matter, very technical matter. Chair, honourable members, you will note that there was an indication that there's a mistake in clause 9, in essence, that we should refer to sections. Just to confirm, Chair, once the bill is passed, our Bills Office at Parliament will just affect that change. It doesn't change the substance or content of the bill. It's purely a typographical error, so that will be fixed by our Bills Office here at Parliament. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, honourable members.
Yeah, you may do those technical touches to the bill. It is it is allowed. And thank you very much for further raising that. Is there any other comment? Then let's look at the report. There's the report, honorable members, as you can see it. You page down. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, honorable members, that's been the report of our report as the committee. And so I want to check if we're already taking consider the report on the process of finalizing the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport Amendment Bill B41B of 23, and either we adopt or reject the report with or without amendments. So I'll look for looking from the system if there's any comment, any hand raised on the platform. Members, comment. None. I'll then ask if there is any mover for adoption of this report, and that we have actually passed and agreed with the NA on this, except that there will be those little changes, cutting the T's and I in the dots, with technical interventions. So in the absence of any comment from members, I'll raise the question: are we in agreement with this? Yes. We've got to go through the voting as provinces again, Oltandamai. Am I right? Or is going to be individual members voting? Noltando?
Oh, sorry, Chair.
Yeah,
My
I was
apologies,
checking.
my connection
Yeah,
is
I was saying that what
unstable.
we do, are we voting as individuals or provinces?
As individuals, Chair, because this is
As
a Section
individuals,
75 bill.
The Section 75 bill, yeah. Just wanted to be sure about that one. Yeah, those in favor of the bill as presented, and the engagement and the response, and also the agreeing to the changes that are going to be made. So I'm going to ask the question: those in favor, you may raise your hands. Those in favor, and those not in favor may raise your hand. Lower your hand first before you vote again. Those who are voting against, raise your hand. And those who are abstaining, none. Those who are abstaining may raise your hand. There is none. And so the voting is closed. Nolthando, may you give us the results of the voting on this matter? Those are adopting without amendments.
The results on the voting, Chair. I've seen 6 hands from the honorable members that are voting in favor, and no member voted against, and there was no abstention. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Nolthando. So therefore,
Did you see my hand? I voted in favor.
who is that?
Lee.
Oh, so then it changes. Can you say the results again, Nolthando? For record purposes.
For record purposes, Chair, 7 members voted in favor. There was no member who voted against, and there was no abstention. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. And this bill is therefore agreed to without any amendments. Thank you very much. Are there comments from anyone who wants to make comments after this? In the absence of any, let me thank everybody who made time to be part of this important meeting. The meeting that ensures that the South African flag will fly all over the world with a smile on our faces. It really brings happiness. This flag, it unites us. This is our flag. We'll want to see it flying sky high. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned. Baie dankie.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you to the members as well on behalf of the department.
Baie dankie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Chair. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members, and thank you, ADG and colleagues. Really appreciate it, and thanks to legal services as well.
Thank you. Now you can all go door to door. So.
Thank you.
Hola. Before it must have been man. So we start. Go guy from here. Village number 4. Come on, woman. Now I must eat something first.
Recording stopped.
Oh, we got cut off. Nolthando?
Hello, Chair.
Oh, so how are we? I can see there's Honorable Nkosi, Christians, myself. Is it only the three of us members?
I think, and also Honorable Hihi.
Yes.
Oh, so we do form a quorum.
Yes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
I've been trying to phone Ndongeni. Her phone is just ringing.
1, 2, 3. 4. We're short of one member to form a quorum, Chair. Let me try and
Round two
check
or
the.
who?
Oh, I
Or-
see Honorable Mutwa has just joined, Chair.
Oh, Mutwa, yeah, Mutwa. Who is this iPhone? Isn't it Ndongeni?
I think it's Honorable Hihi.
Or with the iPhone?
Yes, Chair.
So we are forming a quorum.
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
And sorry, Chair.
Yeah.
I think we first need to adopt the committee report,
Oh, yeah, by the way.
the bill.
Yeah.
Mover and the seconder. We need a mover and a seconder, Chair,
Okay.
for the report.
Yeah. All right. But we are forming we have a quorum now. Good morning, good day, honorable members.
Good day, Chair.
Yeah, sorry, we had to reconvene quickly because you know what, we didn't adopt the minutes. Secondly, we also have to adopt the report. You know, yeah. Sorry about
Recording
that.
in progress.
Sorry about that, and that they will.
Chair,
Hello.
this is Honorable Mutwa. I'm having a problem with my network. I don't know what is happening. It's keep on kicking me out. If it happens again, I don't know whether I will be able to rejoin again.
Okay, no, thanks. You know, once,
Thank
yeah,
you.
no, yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, all members, let's, in terms of the minutes, can you fly the minutes, Nomfundo? No, Nolthando. Oh yeah, that's the minutes of the last meeting of the 2nd of May. Any comments from the members? Just show of hands. And in the absence of any, can there be a mover for adoption?
Chair,
Yes, Honorable Ngozi.
I move for the adoption of the minutes as true reflection, Chair. Thank you.
Thanks, Honorable Ngozi moves. Any second?
Christian
Lee,
second.
second, Chair.
Christian seconds. Thank you very much. Now let's move now to the report. We have to adopt this report, ne? Nolthando, what is the process
Yes,
with the
Chair.
report?
The report on the bill, Chair.
Yeah, the report on the bill. Yeah, the report on the bill is put on the. It is individuals, ne, Nolthando.
We need a mover and a seconder, Chair, for the adoption of the actual report, not the bill now, the adoption of the report.
Yeah, we have looked at the report, honorable members. We have looked at the report. Is it the report that we have looked at now, earlier?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, and then we need to get anyone who moves for adoption of that report. We have already voted for this report. I don't know which one comes first. Anyway. Oh yeah, adoption of the report. Any mover?
I move for the adoption, Chair, as well. Thank you. It's Honorable Nkosi.
Honorable Nkosi moves. Any seconder?
Lee second.
Honorable he seconds. Thank you very much. That will be the report of the committee on this bill, the drug-free sport in South Africa. It will facilitate that, and that we'll be able to participate at international games and raise our flag anywhere where there are competitions in South Africa. Honourable members, and this is going to be the last meeting. This is the last meeting of the committee. Are there members who want to say something before? Like, bye-bye? As this committee, we are not going to hold any meeting of this committee again. Our very last meeting. So we are done for now, Enoltando. We've adopted the report.
Yes, Chair, we are done now.
And then we have adopted the minutes, ratified the minutes of the last meeting. And this is our last meeting as the committee on sports, arts, and culture. I wish you all well in your endeavors. Those who are coming back to Parliament, there will be more bills to pass. Going forward, this is our last one for this term. And those who are going into retirement, have a good rest. And let's ensure that we don't stop in contributing towards peace in the world. And particularly it's the silencing of guns on the African continent and the silencing of guns all over the world. Let peace remain, and wishing that we have the incident-free elections. Thank you very much, honorable members. This meeting is adjourned. Or is there another thing we have skipped, Enoltando?
No, there's nothing else, Chair. Thank you.
Next, this meeting is adjourned because I thought people will comment and say something as they farewell, but it's okay. This meeting is adjourned. Bye, Danke.
Thank you, Chair. You spoke for us all, Chair. Thank you very much.
Bye, Danke.
Recording stopped.
Aha. Sure.